Yep.
We are live. How about you, everybody? Welcome into this week's edition of the Auburn Live call-in show. I'm your host, Jeffrey Lee, senior recruiting editor for Auburn Live on 3. And today is, what is today? Sunday, June the 11th, 2023. I am joined, as I always am, most of the time, 60% of the time. They're here every time. Mr. J Head is back from the dead, and Mr. Cole Pinkston is still alive. How about you, fellas?
How about you, brother? And you talking about coming back from the dead? That was legit, man. The stomach flu is no joke. At one point, I looked like a hobo, half thrown in, half out of my bathroom. It was brutal,
Oh,
man. But I heard the show. You guys killed it. So I'm glad to be back.
I didn't want to say J Head was rooster telling, but as
You just threw it all out there.
I just said you're on assignment somewhere.
He didn't want Jay. He didn't want to say it.
No,
Yeah,
he waited until I was in person to get me with it.
we never want to say that on the show and gross people out.
No.
Hey, oh man, what a hey! Listen, what did we record the recruiting show maybe 3 days ago? And,
Yes.
and in that time, my goodness, the news that we've had official visitors showing up, we've had official visitors cancel, and subsequently commit elsewhere. We've seen new offers go out. We've got new predictions in for Auburn to land commitments. Um, Fantastic past 72 hours for Auburn recruiting. If that's your thing, this will be an enjoyable show for you. Before we get started, this is a fantastic time if you're living in Auburn or Opelika in Lee County to get your house on the market, folks. It's a perfect opportunity. I know those interest rates are up, but it doesn't matter to these cash buyers, and there are several and plenty of them in the Auburn Opelika area. Get the house ready to get on the market from Miss Jessica Anderson and send it through her. Jessica Andrus with the Talents Group, 5-star realtor. Absolutely, folks. I'm not just saying that because she's my soon-to-be wife. Give her a call, man. 334-704-4442. She's fantastic. She sold my house within about 8 hours. Top dollar. Can't ask for anything more. So give her a call, man. Tell her we sent you. 334-704-4442. And again, tell her we sent you. Tell her credit us. Yeah. So all this is going on, right, fellas? We've got the camps, and Cole's heard me complain about this several times, but I'm closing on my house Friday. We got to be out by Wednesday. So I'm moving, and I'm having to do it all by myself because Jessica broke her foot. And in, and in the healing process of breaking her foot, she was moving boxes down the steps, by the way, in her UGG boots, which are UGG adequately named because those things might be the ugliest things I've ever seen. I told her, I was like, you deserve to break your foot. You wear something like that. But yeah, she broke her foot, and then she wore a boot. Well, she walked like this, in that boot. What threw her back out? So she got her foot got welled, and her damn back went out. Now she can't even pick up a shoe box. So I've got to move all this by myself.
Bro, that truly is a 5-star. She's breaking deals from the couch, man. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She's been out of commission. Yeah, she's good at telling me what to do. That's for sure. You need to get over here and move this good thing. Oh, hell, I'm trying to get over here. So yeah. Yeah, and the basketball transfer portal, the past 6 weeks, this is what I've been dealing with, man. Basketball portal was on fire with Auburn adding, I don't know how many they added. It seemed like they added 17 people from the transfer portal. Obviously, football added 70, and then the commission. Well, let's first talk about and catch everybody up on the past 72 hours. Cole, you've been down there on the front lines. I've been kind of checking in on you when I can, and it's been awesome, to be honest with you. Jay Head's been, I'm sure, keeping up with everything. The thing that sticks out to me was the Bryce Kane and the Mario Craver, the slot receiver recruiting for Auburn. Auburn wants a slot receiver. And Malcolm Simmons. They had 3 guys that I think, Cole, after you saw Malcolm Simmons in person, is he a slot?
I mean, he could be. I think he could be an outside guy too, just because the dude can, jump through the roof and go get the ball. But he's not as polished as a receiver, so that would tell me maybe you need to play on the outside a little bit too, and not try to be a slot guy. But I mean, his athleticism is undeniable. It is something else.
Fantastic athlete, average wide receiver at this point in his career. You think that's fair to say?
Yeah. I mean, he's got a ways to go as a receiver.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know what? Malcolm said that.
Okay.
He understands that. He understands there's some things he's got to clean up. he said that. He said he's going to keep working and trying to get their attention, and I think he did get their attention, but, for them to actually push for him, he's going to keep working at being a receiver.
And you're talking about a kid that predominantly played running back last year and defensive back for his high school team, as well as being an all-state punter. I mean, he is an all-around do-it-all athlete. That is what Malcolm Simmons is. So if you take him for the upside. You don't take him for what he is right now. And I do think that they were impressed with the athleticism. I think that he absolutely showed that, and you can see that in some of his clips. Is he the player they want as an outside receiver right now? I honestly don't know. I don't know where Auburn stands as far as that's concerned, but I am impressed with Malcolm Simmons as an athlete. Personally, I would take him on the J-Head squad. I'm taking Malcolm Simmons.
Yeah, right.
But I'm not his coaching staff, and I don't know everything that they've got on the board and up their sleeve right now. So as we kind of see that play itself out, I think we'll know a little bit more where Malcolm stands.
Well, one guy that we got to see, we don't have any doubts about, J-Head. I'm sure you watched the video from Auburn's camp as well. And listen, hey, this is a call-in show, folks. 701-779-9585. We're going to talk until y'all make us answer some questions. So if y'all got some questions, give us a call. Until then, we'll keep talking. Zach, let us know when you get somebody, big dog. Bryce Kane, from Zach McKinnell's neck of the woods. Zach McKinnell. Bryce Kane came up. Dude, listen, this kid's only been playing football for 2 years. He's a basketball guy.
Really 1 year. He really started playing. This was his first year of varsity football this past year. And of course, when his highlights hit and we saw him and we knew he was coming to campus, I started digging in on this. And everybody I talked to said the kid's got upside through the roof as far as that's concerned. They talk about his character, how hard he's willing to work, the actual skill set that he has right now, and how much he's improved as a route runner. Because the major discrepancy to me, when you look at the highlights between a Bryce Kane and the young man from Clay Chalkville, is the polish that he had. What's the kid's name? I'm sorry.
Mario Craver.
The polish that Craver has stemming his routes, getting in and out of his breaks. You can tell he's been playing receiver for a long time. He's almost flawless at doing some of those things. Bryce, you can still see he's kind of feeling his way through some of that, but the athletic ability is off the charts. When you saw him go sub 4.4 and then make it, how he's already polished himself up, the kid's got a really, really bright future. And I think if they take him, which I feel like that's the move right now, they're taking him for the upside because you got a lot of slots on the team right now, right? You got JJ Javarius who could come back for another year. You got Coy Moore who could play in the slot. You got Jay Fair. You just took Caleb Burton from Ohio State. Yeah. So you got a lot of guys. You can afford to take an upside play here if you're Auburn for somebody that could be potentially the better player in the long run.
Interesting take there. I really like Bryce Kane. We expect him to make it. Well, he's already said I'm making a commitment this week. Auburn or Ole Miss. I think Cole and I both have predictions in for Auburn. I think that's going to be a big pickup. Listen, I do not think if that kid's still a 3-star by the time December gets around here, somebody's doing something wrong. I don't know what. I don't know. I don't do all that. I know that kid's not a 3-star.
He doesn't have 3-star speed. That's for sure.
He was really good.
I did. You're right, Jayhead. I watched him run under a 4.4 a couple times.
Yep.
So I think that's it'll be a big win. It's not the statement wins we're talking about Auburn getting, but man, he's good.
But you're talking about how many kids have we seen go? All right, so who was the slot receiver that went to Florida? Auburn passed on him.
Tony.
Yeah.
Kadarius Toney.
Toney. Auburn said, nah, you're not quite good enough for us. What does he do? He goes down to Florida and becomes all SEC by the time he's a senior, and he's an NFL draft pick.
Yeah.
The running back at Ole Miss?
Yeah. Quinshawn Judkins. So these are the kind of players we talked about. It. There's a core group of guys that go to other schools from the state of Alabama each and every year. Can you keep that from happening? Because Bryce Kane's a guy, if he hits, and I believe that he will, his top end is really high. So I think that's a really good play to get a good slot receiver right now and not watch him go out of state and potentially become all conference elsewhere.
Completely agree. Zach, you got somebody?
Yeah, we got 3 callers right now.
Okay.
1370, you're live. Who we talking about? Who we talking to? Where are you calling from? There you go.
It's officially
Lord
Sunday.
George from Nashville.
Say that one more time from Nashville. I heard Nashville.
It's Lord George from Nashville.
Hey.
LG, there he is.
I'm glad J-Head's alive and well. All survived the weekend, and J-Head, I don't know why you're moving. Or, sorry, Jay Lee. Don't ever move, man. It's not good for your health.
You know, as a single dude, the last 7 years have been awesome. And listen, who was I talking to? I was talking to somebody today about getting married next month and moving in together. We're merging our families. I said, you know, she's the right one when you know that she's way too good for you.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
the one.
That's right.
When you go, God, what is she doing with me?
yeah. That's a good.
And listen, when we first started dating, I was like, hey man, you might want to Google me. And just you know what I mean? And it wasn't like a flex, dude. It was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, go check, do some research on me.
Beware.
And
I'm
then-
telling you up front. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that ain't no flex, big dog. You know, if you get through the Google search and you still want to holler at me, you know, all right, we good. But yeah. Oh, so anyways, LG. So I'm moving up, big dog. Trust me.
Good to hear, man.
I'm moving up.
I guess I got a two-parter. One is sort of a recruiting temperature check because of, man, one week Joe Phillips we're all in, and next week, so just overall recruiting temperature check. And then the second part is we have a whatever projected win total, 6.5 wins.
Mm-hmm.
So like say it's 7. Does that equate with like a top 25 class or whatever? Maybe it's top 15, but then we win 8 games. What is there or we win 9 games? Does that equate with like definitely a top 10 class or definitely a top 8 class?
How much difference does an
Hopefully.
8 or 9 win season make in recruiting?
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
That's much more concise. Thank you.
if you win 8 or 9 games, that means you've beaten somebody that experts thought you weren't going to.
Including us.
And to me, that is more important. It's more important than the actual record is to beat an LSU or a Texas A&M or, Alabama. One of the toss-up games or one of the ones that Auburn looks down. People go and say Auburn's not winning that game. Winning those games is more important to me. And I think you're going to take care of business in at least 5 or 6 games. We know that, or we feel that way pretty confidently. So, to me, those big wins that are not expected are more important for recruiting.
And it's how you win, right? Like I
Sure.
think that is as important. The presentation that's out there. Does it look like collectively as a unit on both sides of the ball that we've made improvement from last year? Is there an upward trajectory that you can sell to recruits to say, look, you're just that missing piece to allow us to do this? I think that is huge, Cole, that there's some cohesiveness there and that you win in a way that's attractive to recruits. I think that's important. So, LG, I think when you get between 7 and 9, I don't think there's that much of a difference realistically in the recruiting pitch or the difference it's going to make this year, because I think more what it's going to impact more than anything. I think it will help the 24 class, but it's the 25 class that you're really going to be able to start working that forward momentum with. That's who you're setting the decks for. Now, will 9 wins and a win over somebody you weren't supposed to seal the deal with 1 or 2 guys that are on the fence that could be difference makers? Yeah, but it's not going to more or less change the composition of the entire class. I don't believe that, but I do think that it tells the tape for what you can expect in 25, because if there's anything Hugh Freeze can do, it's sell. And I guarantee you he's going to take that proof of concept right there, and he's going to be able to sell it to recruits.
And LG on Joe Phillips, first of all, he went to Georgia for an official visit. And if you don't think that we talk about these statement guys, man, it's going to take money. I mean, it's going to take money to get these guys. And Joe Phillips and some of these 2024 kids that are making announcements soon, maybe, is probably not going to be a good thing for Auburn. And this is just a theory, and I think Cole and I were talking about this the other day. Listen, transfers are expensive as hell.
Yes.
Okay, transfers are expensive. Even the guys coming from Alcorn State,
Yeah.
all right, they're expensive. And Auburn just signed 20 or 21 the past 4 or 5 months, December in the spring. So a lot of this war chest, I don't know, but Auburn needs probably to refill that war chest. It wasn't a coincidence that Hugh Freeze. You talk about Hugh Freeze being a salesman. It wasn't a coincidence that Hugh Freeze just 4 days ago made a video about, and he said 2 sentences. Hey, everybody, the 2024 recruits are starting to make their decisions. Please subscribe or donate now to ontovictory.com. Yes, he had 2 things to say. 2024s are on the clock, big dogs, and we need some money. And I know the Wolves, he's probably on hold.
Well,
so I think it's going to be. I think a lot of it has to do with money early, and as Cole has said, people want to see some stuff on the field first, don't they, Cole?
yeah. But we were talking about this, and I got to thinking about it. I don't think it's a lack of money. I think the NIL for Auburn's like a battery. It needs to be recharged right now.
Okay.
And it's fully capable of being recharged. You can't really say that for every program. In fact, you probably can't say that for any program not in the top 20 or 25 of NIL. And Auburn's in there. So it's not gonna be an eternity to get it charged back up. It's just gonna take a minute. And you're coming fresh off of landing 20 transfer portal guys, including a quarterback, which you had to have.
Mm.
So, yes, you're in a place right now where you cannot offer up the big bucks, I think, until you get it recharged. And I feel pretty confident that's going to be recharged before this recruiting class is over. And I think you'll see more NIL wins, if you want to call it that, before December.
Something I've learned, Jay-Head, real quick, and then I want to go to you, is that we hear kids wanting to do signing days. Signing day announcements have been a big thing in the past.
Yeah.
That was when the big dogs wanted. They wanted all the attention. Well, now, this is just from talking to some folks that know a lot more about it than me. Now these schools are wanting these kids to be committed. Listen, they're NIL. Every first of the month, if they're on the commitment list, that's NIL. There's a check. There are many monetary reasons to be committed at this point, and I think that's what schools are pushing for. And Auburn's kind of like, hold on, or hurry up. They're telling the recruits to hold on and the money men to hurry up, because you think about transfers. Not only are they expensive, but my mic sucks.
Yeah, it just like it sounds like you're talking like an alien right now. It's like glitched out.
You're buzzing a little bit.
All right, let me go pull my other mic out. Jay-Head, take it away, big dog. I'm gonna go get my other mic.
I got you. And I think there's a complicated aspect to what Jeffrey's saying, in that there are various state laws that allow certain states to pay high school prospects where others do not. So there are advantages inherently with certain programs that Auburn may or may not have. I'm not exactly sure where Alabama falls on all of that. I'm almost positive that they can't receive NIL before they sign their national letter of intent and or enroll at Auburn. I'm almost positive on that, but I could be wrong. It's been a while since I brushed up on my my state legislation. So maybe Tommy Tuberville can grace us with his presence on this show one day. And, tell me about the 3 branches of government as well as his NIL bill. But I think for me, the biggest thing is what Auburn has to do right now, regardless of where NIL is, if it needs to recharge or if it's fine. I don't honestly know. It's been a while since I've tried to inquire. But I think they got to make the long play on a lot of guys. Mm-hmm. What you do, regardless of what happens right now, and I think this is what the Auburn fan base needs to understand, is regardless of what happens right now, this is not a coaching staff that's going to concede guys. And yes, it's always easier to get a commitment the first time around than it is to flipping a guy. But I think that doesn't necessarily hold true for a first-year coaching staff that hasn't had the opportunity to even play its first game yet. You get a lot of momentum coming into the season. If Auburn performs on the field the way they're capable of doing, and they win a game or two that they shouldn't, win the games that they're supposed to win, look good doing it. NIL is in place. I feel pretty positive about the direction or the trajectory of this, the way this staff is capable of putting a class together. I think you're going to have a pretty high blue chip ratio. You're going to have some difference makers involved. As it pertains to Joe Phillips specifically, I'm with Cole. If he commits here pretty quickly, it probably means positive news for Georgia. Does that mean that we're out of it in his recruitment? Absolutely not. I don't believe for a second that a kid that is 20 minutes down the road in Tuskegee, Alabama, is going to be hands off to Auburn. I think they'll be able to get him back on campus. And here's the other thing. They have not blown their official visit yet with him. Georgia has. There is no more official visit for Joe Phillips at UGA. Auburn can get him back. And if they do get him back and they get him back closer to National Signing Day, I think that's a positive thing for Auburn. So look for the long play on a lot of these guys that may be making decisions soon. I think there's going to be some positive news with guys like Jalen Crawford and a handful of others, that you're going to go ahead and build the baseline of your class with, and then make a long play on some of these 5 stars that are really going to be true difference makers in your class.
And just keep in mind, coaches and administration know what they're working with as far as money. We don't.
Exactly.
So if they feel it's worth their while to let Jeremiah Beeman come back today and hang out and have a good time in the facility, they probably know a little bit more than us and know that in the long run, maybe they got a shot for real. Now, that may not be the case for Jeremiah. He may be locked into Alabama. That may be where he wants to be. That may be his dream school, whatever you want to say. But the coaches don't see it that way. They think they got a shot. And that probably has something to do with knowing, hey, that NIL battery is going to recharge at some point. And when it does, we got something again.
And the quote I think that stuck out to me from your story, Cole, as it pertains to Jeremiah was Coach Garrett said, or Coach G said, we're going to make it hard on you. Don't worry. It's going to be,
Yep.
That doesn't sound like a guy that's planning on giving in and giving up on a recruitment. That sounds like a young, hungry guy that's looking to make a statement, and he's going to hang in that recruitment as long as he possibly can.
Right.
I'll go ahead and take us to the call lines as we got like 7 callers.
Ooh.
Wait,
Get in there.
yeah, it's busy tonight.
All right.
846666. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from? Hang on. You will hang on. Just 1 second.
We got
Just-
weird science going on in the background.
Yeah, no kidding.
Hello?
Oh, we got something.
All right, you there? No.
Mhm.
Some technical difficulties there.
Yeah.
Y'all
Are you
hang
there?
with
Either that or R2D2 made a phone call.
us. It could be that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Either way.
8466. Are you there?
How do I sound, fellas?
Great.
Good.
Much better.
Yeah, you're good.
Immediately.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Got
Oh,
you.
yeah. Gotcha.
Hello?
Perfect.
Hey, this is E. Moss from Sheffield.
Oh, Eric.
There he is.
Moss.
Okay, I can hear y'all now.
Here we go.
Hey guys, if Hugh Freeze really turns this thing around like a lot of us thinks he will, man, I really hope y'all get together and write a book about this rebuild, from the insider's view. Y'all got the juice, man. Y'all got all the inside stories, all the late flips when Freeze first got here. I was renting all the golf carts and the 200 kids on Junior Day and the things like the bout to watch all these little cool stories that we're hearing about, man. I think it'd be pretty cool if y'all, if he turns this thing around, that I think that'll make a good book.
Sure. Absolutely.
Y'all gonna do it? Can we get y'all's word?
You'll get an oral contribution from me, but Jeffrey,
Absolutely. I'll write that book.
yeah, let Jeffrey write that one. He's qualified there.
But, I don't have my dad asked me about this the other day. I was like, I don't have the attention span to write a book. Like, I got into this, like, I'm going to be, I'm going to write. Dude, I can't even finish a sentence. I can't write a book.
Get you a journal. Think about those 7. If he turns this around, those 7 late flips,
that he made, Connor Lew and the Falk and the
Kay and Lee.
the Sylvester kid from Tennessee and
Yep.
Kay and
Yeah.
Lee. Those guys are going to play a major part in that. You got those inside stories. I give me a journal and just start jotting it down. All these little Walker White and the list of 14, man. That list of 14 might be legendary if he turns it.
There's still a bunch of guys on that list hanging around, aren't there?
Sure are. Had a couple
Yeah.
of them this weekend.
And you got the starter, the flip from Alabama, right there. That's your starter of the 14. You know, that leads into that. I think it'll be pretty easy to keep focused on him, man. If he turns it around, we're all gonna be excited about it.
No doubt.
Couldn't agree more, Eric.
And I'm gonna hang up, man. I'm gonna say one thing. I know there's a lot of kids down there on this weekend. I know it's a lot to talk about, but the 6.5 win total thing, that's not even taken into account. That hadn't changed since we signed all these transfer kids. We got all 85 right now, so that's 42 new kids and high school, JUCO, and transfers. We got 42 new kids and 43 from last year. I'm asking a hypothetical question. I get off. I know a couple of players have to play out of position. If you took them new 42 and lined them up against the new 43 and had to play 4 quarters, which team would you take?
Mm.
You talking about all the new guys against the old guys?
Yeah.
Ooh, so you got Robbie and the old.
line, and you got Thorne. I know you're a little younger on one side, and a couple of guys have to play out of position. But if it came down to it, I'm taking those new 42. We've improved everywhere. My point, making my point. I think we've improved everywhere. I think we're definitely going over 6.5.
What a fantastic hypothetical question.
That is a good point.
What a fantastic question, Emos. I'm going through my new guys.
I'm gonna hang up and let y'all talk
All right.
about it. Y'all
All right.
write that book, Jeff Lee. I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah, all right then.
Tell him in the book. Emos told me to write it.
Yeah,
Get a shout out in there.
inspired by Emos.
There you go. A little inscription to you.
Interesting question.
Ooh,
You've got an offensive line. You've got Connor Lew. You're going to work in there.
yeah,
And 4 new offensive linemen.
yeah.
You've got a defensive line that's full. I mean, let's talk about this. Most of your starters are going to come from this class, right?
So Justin Rogers is a starter at the nose. Messiah Masili Kite would be starting for you.
How about this?
I don't think it's even close.
The
I think
new-
the new guys
If it
roll
was
it.
the new guys versus the old guys, here's your starting offensive line. Avery Jones at center.
Yep.
Your 2 guards are probably Jaden Muskrat and Connor Lew.
I'm putting
Yeah.
Connor at center. I'm moving Avery to guard.
All right. And then your 2 tackles are Dylan Wade and Gunnar Britton.
Yeah. You're probably one player off, or maybe 2
You could
players
throw
off.
you could throw Too Tall Miller in there somewhere too.
Then you look at your receiving core, you got Rivaldo Fairweather as a big F. You know what I mean? Maybe you could Rivaldo's not a true tight end in my honest opinion. You know what I mean? He's
He's a
a
flex.
big F / flex, slot wide receiver. But you got obviously all Shane Hooks. You got
Shorter.
Burton,
Caleb Burton.
Burton, Martiner.
Caleb, who's the running back from South Florida? Batee.
Brian Batee.
God, you probably give the edge in the running back room to the old guys.
You get Jeremiah Cobb too.
Yeah, you do get Cobb. I'll give you that. Now, I'll tell you where you're going to be green with the new guys is in the back end because you don't have a lot of transfers in the defensive backfield. You're going to be playing predominantly freshmen.
Right. James Pritchett and Scott. You take that 3.
But look at the offensive line. Robbie's going to have blocking for him against the new defensive line that just came in.
Bro, all right. So you got
You got Austin Keys.
Who do we have?
And Austin Keys, and you got
Center would have
McLeod,
been Tate Johnson, I guess.
Garner
Yes.
Langlow.
Yeah, Garner would have been starting at left tackle.
Well, you get your guards are okay. You got Stutz and Jeremiah.
Yeah,
right, yeah.
yeah. And then who's your right tackle?
Tate would be your center, right?
Right tackle.
Dude, that's how they should have did 8. That's how she should do. Well, they couldn't do 8A. They weren't on here,
That'd be a good marketing deal.
wouldn't it?
We're going to do this on, June, whatever, on the field, open ticket.
Oh, you go 7-on-7 old guys versus new guys.
Oh, man,
Sell
that'd
that one.
All righty, Moss. Very good. Very good.
Good stuff there, Emos. We appreciate you, big dog. Did I miss anybody? The last guy, it was LG and Emos.
That was
That's
it.
Okay.
That was it. 7474. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Now, Chief Fellows, this is Johnny Knox the Severin.
Hey!
What
What in the world?
Get in here, big dog.
Get in here, big
I don't really have
dog.
a question. I just want to let you guys know the site you guys have built is amazing. I mean, the environment, the community, it's fun. I mean, if anybody's got more information than you guys, I don't know who it is. I haven't found it. I mean, it's the best site, Auburn site of all time, no doubt.
Thank you, Johnny Knox. You helped make
Appreciate
that,
that.
big dog. That community we've got, we owe a lot of it to you guys like you, man.
Well, I just wanted to call and get the help out to you. I don't really have any questions. I know y'all got a line of customers out the door, so how about you?
How about you? Listen,
All right, man.
Johnny Knox 07, and for all those that aren't a member of Auburn Live, look, it's practically free at this point right now. It's $1 for the next 3 months, or if you want to go ahead and get that year for $50, your choice. But dollar right now, practically free for the next 3 months. Auburn Live on 3, and dude, he has the best memes.
I was going to say Meme Master should be like, you know what I mean?
Meme
Like,
master.
yeah, it should be in his headline right there.
I don't know how to pop them up, but at some point it would be some of the better ones.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
have to make a slideshow. with-
Yeah.
Is that Spider-Man one?
Oh, with J-Head.
That was amazing.
I'm tweeting one right now.
He's
Yeah,
awesome.
he got me this morning for sure, dude. That was it. That was good.
The who was the all right.
Oh, that was you, brother.
Yeah, with hair, big dog. Yeah.
God, there's so many. I mean, he keeps rolling them out. That's the crazy thing
Yeah.
about it, man.
Yeah, he's good stuff, man. He makes the community fantastic. We appreciate him. Anybody else, Zach?
Oh, we got like 8 callers still.
All right, let's roll them off.
Tonight. So
Okay.
we'll go 1337. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Big Boy Foosball from the corner.
Oh, big
Hey, Florida. Just 2 things. With Mbakwe giving Bammers a bunch of credit for kind of screwing with us on his replies about just using us for likes and getting his social media presence higher, are we actually in play for him? And 2, after Cam Coleman's FSU visit this weekend, how are we feeling about that?
Okay, Jalen Mbakwe and Cam Coleman, 2 very good topics of discussion, especially this weekend, big boy. Appreciate your call, man. Thank you for subscribing. We really appreciate your loyalty. Cole, Jalen Mbakwe, I think you spoke to him after
Yeah.
an official visit.
Yep.
Was that last weekend?
Yeah, that was last weekend.
Then he came for the 7-on-7 on Wednesday, I believe.
Yes. And then he was part of Balcony Watch, which
There you
was
go.
a lot of fun this week. I enjoyed that. I think everybody seemed to enjoy that. I don't really know about this. I've seen it mentioned. I didn't actually see the tweet. Jayhead, did you see this where he's given?
I heard it secondhand, so it's unfair for me to truly comment on it.
So what I got from it was hey, Auburn fans, go here and subscribe and whatever else. And then an Alabama fan was like, ha, way to get those sucker Auburn fans to and he liked the post.
Right. That's what I understood happened. Did I see that? Like, no.
I wouldn't.
But he could have been liking everything, dude. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he probably does. I mean, I get it. If you're an Auburn fan, you don't want to see that, but whatever. He's committed to Alabama. That's part of the chase, right?
He's a 17-year-old kid, man. I think people forget that sometimes. Like, God knows, Jeffrey, what we would have done if we had social media at the age of 17 and the stupid shit that I would have out there.
I wouldn't be here, that's for sure.
Well, I had it. I was in the generation that had it, but
This is true, Cole.
I'm hanging in there, man. Hanging in there.
Me and Cole hanging by a thread right now.
Yeah, Zach. Yeah.
Well, big boy, I would say, listen, that's the one I'll be shocked. And listen, we'll cover it. He'll be back at Auburn. He'll be at a game, and he'll say the right things when he leaves. And then he'll go home, and he'll tell Alabama site he's 100% locked in with Alabama. And behind the scenes, he's going to tell Auburn they've got a shot. They've got a shot. And listen, he's telling people that right now. Don't get me wrong, Auburn. He's not coming in here and telling Auburn y'all have zero shot, but I'm going to visit. He's not telling them that. He's implying, at least to Auburn, that there's a pretty decent shot he might flip.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all of us know we've and Keith Niebuhr will tell us we've seen this movie way too many times before, big dog.
Right.
I will never, ever predict Jalen Mbakwe to Auburn. Let me put this pen down so there's no confusion. Never. Listen, I raised him on the hot board. If y'all saw this today, I raised him from 15% to 20% just because of the things that I heard over the last 48 hours, which were very positive feedback from Auburn. So that's how. And listen, if he gets above 20%, in my opinion, it'll take a lot because I don't buy it.
It would take. Hey, he's in Freeze's office right now. He's about to flip this and post it on Twitter. Get your story ready. It would take that kind of intel.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? For you,
we're going to give you 30 minutes so you can put in a prediction or raise him in the hot board.
Yep.
We'll give you some time to do that.
He needs another commitment graphic to leak on Twitter before he even considers going over 20%.
Yes. So
let me add that I'm not putting one in for Jalen Mbakwe. I will not be putting one in for Sterling Dixon, Perry Thompson.
Yeah.
I'm not putting one in for those guys as long as they're committed to Alabama. If they decommit, Auburn is the very first school I put one in for.
Right.
Okay, I completely agree. Same way with I think it was Martavius Collins, wasn't it?
Yeah, Martavius Collins. When he decommitted, we knew that's Auburn.
Yep. Done deal. And then it was like, hurry up, dude! Like, what's taking so long?
You're making us look bad.
Yeah, right. You're making me worry.
Exactly. Credibility's on the line, man.
Big boy Cam Coleman went to Florida State. Listen, he's going to take visits, and he's going to say all the right things when he visits. He's going to visit Auburn tomorrow.
You know,
he's going to say all the right things when he leaves.
So, somebody made a good point, and I don't remember who it was. Somebody I was talking to at the camp the other day. You know, Cam Coleman could commit right now. Auburn seems to be his leader. We all kind of agree on that. He could commit right now. He's still taking his visits, and you wouldn't feel good about that if he were committed. You feel even worse if we're being honest. So let it play out. You're gonna have to let this one play out. You don't have a choice here.
Yeah,
he's going to take his visits.
Yeah, Auburn fans obviously they just want that signature win in recruiting, right? Like they want it bad. They can taste it. You're just gonna have to be patient on this, but I'm with you guys. This is one that's gonna play out all the way down to the end. He's not gonna pop this summer. I do think Florida State is involved. I think they're probably a top 4 team for him. I honestly believe that. I think Florida State, Auburn, LSU, and Georgia are going to be the teams you're going to need to watch moving forward with Cam Coleman. Yep. I honestly believe Clemson has fallen to the wayside on that one. I don't think there's much traction there. And look, Clemson's credit, they just slammed, a 5-star and I think 2 big 4-stars in their recruiting class, so they're probably done.
Yep.
But I think those are the 4 schools that are truly in play. And look, this is how you earn your spurs in recruiting. If you're Marcus Davis, you know what I mean? You got to close. You got to hang in there and you got to close. And I agree with Jeffrey. I think Auburn is the leader right now. I agree with Cole on that. And it's about maintaining that lead. Anytime you feel like it may be sliding up there, you got to make sure you get him back on campus. You got to make sure that you change. Flip the script.
I will say this, just from being around the facility a lot the past week. I mean, a lot. I think I've been there more than I've been home. There's one thing I picked up about this coaching staff and the people involved here. There's a surprising level of awareness.
Oh, yeah.
In other words, Marcus Davis is not sitting there thinking he's got all these guys in the bag. He has confidence, but he knows he's got to hang on.
Yep.
and he's fighting tooth and nail. And you know what? That's good. You have to do that if you're going to be at Auburn and you're going to be sandwiched in between Clemson, Georgia, Alabama. That's how you recruit. Hang on as long as you can, and you don't give up on anybody.
And the worst thing I think as a recruiter you can do is be blindsided, right?
Oh,
You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I think
that was my
this-
point. We've seen that. We've seen that happen.
Exactly. I don't think this staff is going to get shocked. I think they read the room and they're doing their due diligence and knowing what's going on around each recruitment.
Yep.
And that is as important as actually connecting with the kid itself, is knowing what's on background. Because if you know what's on background, you know how to counter, right?
Well, it all goes back to the top, like we've said, several times. Hugh Freeze, if there's anything we know he's good at, it's relationships and understanding people.
Yep.
And that's part of this. You got to understand what a guy's thinking, where he's leaning. You got to be able to read his mind here. And how hard is that?
Real hard.
Zach, keep us going, big dog. Appreciate you, big boy.
1511. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Jeffrey, this is Hunter. I was with you one night after a show that you did at the Wing Place for the the signing day special.
Yeah, that must have been years ago.
Yeah, back when you
Yeah,
were
stand by, my brother. How's it
What-
going, man?
Is this Hunter?
I'm loving. Yes, Hunter. Hello.
that smile.
How about you, Hunter?
Hey, brother. Yeah, I'm listening. Hey, question. I'm loving this show y'all do here. Hey, am I wishful thinking that this guy could be as good as Stidham we got coming in to play quarterback that first year he was here?
I think that's fair, don't you, Jay Head Cole?
Yeah.
All right. Is it fair from a leadership standpoint and to be able to execute the offense standpoint? Yes. Does he have the natural arm talent that Jared Stidham had? No. I don't believe
That's
that.
what I was thinking.
That's not a
Yeah.
knock on him. I just think Jared
I
Stidham.
think he's going to be great in Hugh's system.
Right. I think he can execute Hugh's system. I think he can do that at a high clip. I'd comp him more to a Bo Wallace than I would a Jared Stidham. But that doesn't mean that he can't be effective.
Wouldn't you agree that 2017 Stidham was not as good as 2018 Stidham?
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. He had that one game against Bama, but he struggled a little bit. You know?
He did.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I see Thorne.
What's his wheels like, Jay Head? What's his wheels like?
I think he's got decent mobility. He's definitely got above average foot speed. He's got the ability to be able to hold the guy on the zone read. So where it's not just an automatic crash the mesh point and trying to blow up the running back every other play. So I think you're talking about a guy that's a capable runner, probably not a guy that you want running the ball 20 times a game. He's not nearly the athlete that Robbie is, but capable and somebody that can execute the RPO at a high clip. And that's really where it needs to be. If you can see the read, know what's going to be in play, how to put the defense in conflict, how to make the checks that you need to get us out of bad plays, that's what Peyton Thorne is going to do. He's going to be a really good game manager with above average athleticism.
Hey, good stuff, Hunter. We appreciate your call, buddy.
Brother. Hey, I love the show. War Eagle.
Thank you very much, Hunter. We appreciate you, bud.
Bye-bye.
1447. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
This is Ranger 361. Hey, first of all, I want to tell Mr. Jeffrey Lee congratulations on your upcoming Locking Horns. Question on the summer camps. Could you tell us, are there any sleepers out there or any of the other camp standouts that have not already been mentioned? Hang up. Enjoy your show and enjoy your report.
Hey, appreciate you, Ranger. Ranger's a good dude now. He's a good dude. We appreciate you, big dog. Loyal subscriber. We absolutely are grateful for him. Camp standout sleepers, Cole.
I think Malcolm Simmons is the. I mean, if you would call him a sleeper, he's ranked like a 4-star. I think, but
Ahead of Bryce Game.
yeah. So, but I mean, he's taking an official visit to Liberty. Like his recruitment hasn't taken off yet for whatever reason.
Malcolm Simmons.
Mhm.
Wow.
Which nothing wrong with Liberty, obviously, but you know, his recruitment just hasn't taken off as much yet. But I think it will, man. And people see him in person, they'll start turning heads a little bit. He was one guy. I would have said Khalil House, and I actually walked away from him going through the warm-ups and everything, and I went, you know, he's good, but does he get offered today? I don't know. There's a lot of offensive linemen on the board.
Yeah.
At the time, I was thinking Caleb Holmes was, you know, hot and heavy with Auburn. And, you know, obviously they probably knew something about Caleb Holmes before we did, J-Head, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
So went ahead and got right in on that. And I think they saw enough too. I think if Caleb Holmes were still in the mix, they were going to do it anyway.
Khalil House. I'm trying to think of anybody. I tell you what, J-Head, there was a quarterback, Cole, the other day behind Walker. And I still don't know his name. Walker told me it was his name. I think his name is Parnell. He's 2026, dude. He's really good.
Yeah, that's your guy. That's your
Yes.
guy.
316, big dog. I'll never forget that.
There were some good quarterbacks. There was about 3 good quarterbacks
Yes.
that day that Walker was there.
Yes.
There were.
All of them were, I think they're all underclassmen too. There was
Yes.
like a guy from Pinson Valley. He was about 260. Like he looked like a nose tackle that converts from Pinson Valley.
Yes.
Dude could spin the crap out of it. He was
Tell you
good.
Who else stood out too was Antoine Hill that day. He was there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't. I
He was
missed
good.
that. Yeah,
He didn't miss a deep ball, guys. Didn't miss one.
I missed that.
But man, gosh, especially the 7-on-7 stuff Thursday. There's all kinds of sleepers out there.
I was gonna say, I'm going to give you one that I got tipped on, and the guy's name is Sean Wilson, a wide receiver out of
Ooh,
Alpharetta.
you know what? I got an article coming on Sean Wilson.
Yep.
Me and Sean talked. We talked.
Sean had a really good day. I think he's somebody that a lot of schools have their eye on. UCF is offered, and they're probably very big in that recruitment right now. But I think he's somebody that Auburn's tracking, that's for sure. So watch that name, Sean Wilson.
I'll tell you what, Ricky Johnson is a guy from Houston County who did not come to camp. Don't know why. His whole team was there. I didn't really ask why, but from what I understand, the Sean Wilson guy, and I think Ricky Johnson maybe a little down the line. Honestly, I mean, just look at the state of Alabama. Cam Coleman, Perry Thompson, Mario Craver, Bryce Kane, Malcolm Simmons. You really don't have to leave the state if we're being honest.
No.
But I'm almost wondering if this Sean Wilson cat that you're talking about didn't take Ricky Johnson's spot down the line there and move up a spot. Now, he's a guy to watch, and I will have an article on him soon. I like that.
Good stuff, Ranger.
Sleepers of camp. That's fun, man. I enjoy it.
Absolutely.
Dude. And look, let's talk this real quick before we go to the next caller. How fun are camps right now? Like you guys went like 2 years without being able to cover a camp.
Oh, yeah.
And I have no idea what Malzahn did or did not let happen. I know that, he was afraid that he will be catching his plays and all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah, right.
I'll tell you what, the paranoid personality of Gus Malzahn is not really there for Hugh Freeze.
Right.
Hey, I'm going to take the top guys on the balcony over all 2,000 people that are here. I don't care. And everybody can see it. And I'm sitting here making jokes on people up here. You know what I mean? It's just totally different.
Yeah, allowing media to be fully there, watching everything that's going on in the camp, not restricting what you guys are reporting from a recruiting standpoint.
No.
So I think he's really utilized the media well this past week. I think his camps have been fun. I think they're only going to get better moving forward as he continues his work here at Auburn and getting more and more competition in the camps. But encouraged by what I've seen from that standpoint.
That was the most fun I've had probably since Chizik has been here.
Yeah.
Because we had all access. I mean, if you wanted to go behind the quarterbacks and get video there, if you wanted to go out and get videos here, we had, as long as you weren't in the way, you were fine. That was fun. I also enjoyed being able to be around the coaches more on a more relaxed setting. After we talk about Ben Agamaya all the time on here, dude. He comes in there in the media room after the camp, plops down. We sit there and shoot the shit for about 30 minutes, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And getting to know these guys a little bit better, because you got to think they're hired. They got to finish the 2023 class. They got spring. They've got transfer portal. This is the first, and they're finally starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, because July is going to be dead. August is going to be dead. So it's just like, if we can get through this camp, we're at the home stretch. And so, but up until this point, they've been 100 miles an hour.
Yes.
So now we've had some time to be around them a little bit more, and a little familiar faces a little bit more. So I've enjoyed the access we've had to not only the camps but to the coaches, and it really makes our job more enjoyable when you're around good people who don't think you're a pest.
No, they don't. They don't seem to
and appreciate what you do. That makes the job a lot more fun.
I believe
Jeffrey, the video you took, I think it was a Bryce Kane about to run a route, and Camden Brown standing in your way, and you're like, "Hey man, get out of the way!" You doing? He cracks me up.
He said, "Oh, sorry, Mr. Big Dog."
Yeah.
Which, by the way, Jeffrey Lee has now become a Bryce Kane fan. I
Yeah.
believe it, dude. He's got to start lining up a Bryce Kane and Camden Brown somewhere in his.
Can you imagine if Bryce Kane were to commit to Auburn and Bryce Kane and Camden Brown were on the field at the same time? What would Jeffrey do?
He's not going to know who to pull for on that one.
Yeah, put that in my veins. Listen, like Kane, like Camden. Think about this. Camden had to come to camp, show out.
Yes,
You're right. You're right.
Bryce came to camp, showed out. Both of them are fantastic, phenomenal individuals.
Yep.
Fantastic. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for being, oh my God. Listen, I'm sorry. I pull for those guys.
Yeah.
You should.
I pull for those guys. I pull for good people. I like to see good things happen to good people. So that keeps us going, Big Dog.
05, 06, you're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
This is old Hogbone. How's it going, fellas?
Hogbone.
Hey, you talking about Chisholm a little bit ago. One of the players on the team said worst thing ever happened was when he won that national championship. He became Mr. Coach Gene Chisholm after that. Couldn't go in there and go inside that door and talk to him like he did before.
He went from Big Dog to Mr. Big Dog real quick.
He sure did. He sure did. Listen, what I wanted to say, I want to be quick about it, let other people come on in. I've seen a lot of folks getting all excited and worked up and oh, look at our 24 class. Well, listen, I doubt there's a box that's been fully unpacked in Hugh Freeze's office right now. He's been working. But what I'm going to say is it takes a little bit of time to get this stuff and get these relationships made with these kids. I expect a lot of good things out of 25, and we're going to steal some in 24 still. But I wouldn't get real upset, to see this thing play out for 24. If we have a good year, we're going to get some. But we got to have just a little bit more time, I do believe, because we may have to bring some fill in the gaps next year, but not near as many as we did before. So it's a step process that they're doing, and they're going to keep fighting and keep working. And I appreciate that. And I applaud them for it. But
Absolutely.
That's the reality I see of this thing. If I'm wrong, you correct me, but I think 25 is square on where we need to be, really up there and hit these boys that are cream of the crop and really being able to be in the level playing ground, so to speak. But I just want to say that because I see a lot of people, and Johnny Knox coming in tonight, but that boy is something. He's top shelf, you know.
He is top shelf.
I like that.
Shout out Crime Dog.
No doubt. That is a Crime Dog saying, brother.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, Hogbone.
Y'all have a good night, bro.
Appreciate you, Big Dog. And I will say this, speaking of 2025, Keith, back when he was here with us, used to say Auburn's still behind with this 2024 class. The 2025 class is the first even footing that Auburn the staff will have. And I always thought, I won't know. I don't know about that. Like, it's still pretty early with 2020. He was right, dude.
Yeah.
He was right. Auburn's playing catch up with this 2024 class, and Hogbone's talking about 2025. I've already, Cole and I both, we're talking about the running back. We saw Anthony Rogers from Pike Road, now done at IMG, commit to Alabama. Well, what does that do? Which I don't think. I think Auburn had I want to say Emmanuel Henderson. It's not Emmanuel Henderson. It's,
Alvin Henderson.
Alvin Henderson. Emmanuel was the 2023, 2022 who hasn't played a snap at Alabama.
Yeah.
Should have been at Auburn.
No,
Yeah.
2021 because he was a COVID year guy.
But Alvin Henderson, to me, would be a huge statement win for Auburn. And this 2025 running back from Elba could definitely be making a decision soon. I like everything I've heard from Auburn side of it, and that would be huge to get that 2025. You got Malik Autry, you get Alvin Henderson, and that's a really, really good start to the 2025 class if you can make that happen.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Hogbone.
6152. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Hey, my name is Mike. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama.
All right.
What's up, Mike? What part of Birmingham?
Towards the Woodlawn area.
Okay. I'm from Minor. I know the Woodlawn area.
In the point. Oh yeah. I was just calling in. I listen to you guys all the time, but I just wanted to go on the call in for the first time, get a question off. I wanted to ask. I heard there were rumors around Jarquez Hunter, and I know that you can't really speak on it too much without definite facts or details about the situation. But just hypothetically speaking, if we had to start the season and he was missing, he had to be away from the team for a couple of games, would you guys expect Damari Austin to step in and start, or would you expect the transfer of Brian Batita overtake him?
Austin.
Damari.
Mike, that's a good question. It's a fair question because we don't know much about Jarquez, the details and stuff to even. But if he were to miss, who do we see stepping up? Do you see Damari Austin? Do you see Brian Batiste? Do you see Jeremiah Cobb working his way in there the first game under the lights of Jordan Hare? I think we all agree Damari is ready.
Yeah, I think he's ready. I think he's got experience now, and I like his skill set in this offense. I really do. I like his vision, and he's not a back you can cheat. And let's be honest here. And Cole, I'd love to get your opinion on this. But the running back, to me, beyond the quarterback, the running back is what makes the spread offense work because you can't cheat the back. You can always roll coverage on a receiver, okay? But you can't cheat the back because if you do, you're setting yourself up for catastrophe. And I think Damari is the kind of guy that can keep you honest and make you pay for it. So I truly like his skills in this offense. What I don't know is where he is as a pass blocker. I think that was a place that I thought he needed to improve in high school. Has he done that and taken that step? I don't know. But I liked what I saw from him having that natural feel in the spring as far as seeing the running lanes and everything else. But I'll let you guys take it from here.
Well, look at Mike Leach's offenses. As many times as they threw it, they had a running back to keep you honest. And Dylan Johnson was good for them. The guy they had last year, I can't think of his name. The other guy they had two backs that were really good.
Jaquavius Marks, is that what it is?
Yeah, Marks. I think that was right.
An Auburn target at one time.
Yes.
Yep. So, that is the perfect counter to what you're doing. If you're in the spread and you're throwing it a lot, 4 receivers, having a running back that can gash you every once in a while is such a big deal. And by the way, we're talking about two guys here, Austin and Batiste, who are going to steal carries from Jarquez Hunter anyway.
Yeah.
They're going to because they're both
touches at least.
Touches for sure. We foresee Damari Austin cutting into his carries a little bit. He's good enough. He's been there long enough. He knows what he's doing, and we know that the coaches are excited about him. And then even Jeremiah Cobb, that's a guy who's got a skill set that is not on the team anywhere. You want to see what he can do, even as a freshman, especially with 4 games. You can still redshirt. They want to get a look at him. So I think even if the Jarquez Hunter situation turns out to be like you're saying there, I think you're going to be okay. But we don't know the details of everything.
No.
Hey, good stuff, Mike. We appreciate your call, man. Zach, got some more?
2 more.
Okay.
3741. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
What's going on, guys? This is Dylan from Oxford, Alabama, home of KJ Britt and Rock Thomas.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Rasheen Thomas.
Yes, sir.
What's on your mind tonight, Dylan? And hey, Dylan, let me tell you something. You know who the head coach is there at Oxford?
Yes, I forgot his last name though. It's Sam.
Sam Adams.
Already.
Former
Adams.
Bevel Bear.
Sam Adams.
Hey, listen. Sam Adams was he is from Corner High School, but he played junior college baseball with me at Bevel State. Sam Adams, the head coach at Oxford High School, man. Good, really good dude.
Yeah, I've heard good things about him.
Really good. What's on your mind tonight, Dylan?
Quick question about these official visits these recruits take. What exactly did these guys get to experience on these visits? I know they're paid for it and everything, but I know they get to stay for about 2 to 3 days. And I didn't know if you had any insight of what these guys get to do during these visits, or what they got in plan for them, what the coaches get to do with them, if they just hang out with former players or current players, or we'll see if you had any input on that.
Sure. Yeah. Hey, sometimes I take that for granted that people that follow recruiting. Every year, I should probably do a story outlining and detailing what an official visit is, because guys like you, Dylan, and I'll throw some things out there that I know. It's 48 hours. Yes. It's an all expense paid for you, and I believe I want to say two guests. Sometimes a sister or sometimes a girlfriend. I don't know how they work that in, but it's usually an athlete and two guests. You're staying at a hotel, all expense paid. All your food is free. What you want to do, if you're the Auburn staff, is you want to spend as much time as you can with these kids, meeting with them, explaining to them. So they're taking campus tours. They're taking tours of the facilities. They're going into position meeting rooms with their position coach. They're going out with players to see the nightlife, the social life, if that's what you want. You're meeting with the head coach before you're leaving. Anybody throw some other stuff in there? What am I leaving out?
Food.
The academic
food.
Yeah,
academic. You're meeting with academics.
Exactly. And I think that's a big hidden thing that some people don't realize is you get the opportunity to sit down with an academic counselor and look at course tracks for, majors that you're interested in, potentially with a department head. You get a tour of all the facilities, including those buildings on campus that you might be interested in. So there's a lot of moving pieces to it that aren't necessarily tied into like an unofficial visit where you're just doing the football part of it. There's a whole university aspect to an official visit that they incorporate into. And then there's obviously a lot of meeting time with the head coach, your family getting an opportunity to have breakfast with them, whatever the situation is, where you're just getting additional exposure to the coaching staff in a way that you wouldn't otherwise.
I will say, if you're someone who wants to know kind of the behind the scenes and like the price breakdown, stuff like that, The Athletic did a really good article. I want to say like 2 years ago on Clemson's, like they don't call it Big Cat, but it was some sort of like official visit weekend where they had like 10, 12 guys officially visit the same weekend. And it broke down like shuttle costs, dinner costs, what they were served, the schedule breakdown. So just go look up that article, and it goes so in depth into what Clemson did for that weekend. I
think it was Andy Staples that did that. I'm with you on that, Zach. And he did a really great behind the scenes peek at, kind of setting the stage for everything as it all played itself out. But yeah, that's a great look at what an official visit consists of.
And you do have some guys that go, I'm not into all that. I don't care about the glitz and the glamour. I had a guy tell me that recently. I believe it was Kamori House, the nickel recruit from California that just came down for a visit. His was unofficial. He said, yeah, they treated it like an official. He said, but I told him I don't really care about that. So basically he was like, they showed me what we would do if I was on an official. They showed me the academic side. They showed me the campus. We had like 3 meals, he said, and he paid for them, but they had the 3 meals that they would have had, that kind of stuff.
Photo shoot.
If you want a good look at that, I think Kinsley Faustin, who was on his, it's not Faustin, by the way. I've been saying his name wrong. It's Faustin, who was on his official visit this weekend. On his Instagram, he pretty much chronicled the whole thing. And the photo shoot is unbelievable. I have to admit, it is crazy.
And I will say this. I have heard that there is movement by the NCAA to limit photo shoots to only official visits. and not for every unofficial or every time a kid shows
I
up.
know Todd Van Nance would love that.
You know what I mean? It's like, I think every recruiting department in America would love that. I think photo shoots have gotten.
Todd Van Nance is the photographer, the Auburn University sports photographer, and poor dude, he has to go. I mean, when that junior day, the Eric Moss, poor guy, Todd's running around with knee pads on, and it's 50. He's awesome, but yeah, I can see that Jay had, and wouldn't be because a lot of times that's what these kids want. That's all they want is those pictures.
Want to do the pictures and they want to leave.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because they want Twitter for their followers, whatever it is, and it's got then you got parents trying to get into jerseys and all this other stuff, man. Like it's hit a whole other level, and that's just a rant on me because I'm not huge on the photo shoot, but that's a big part of it. That's for sure.
Believe it or not, there are a lot of guys, and it's usually offensive linemen. I don't know why that is. That say, I'm good on the photo shoot. Usually when they said that, I go,
"You're my guy."
I kind of like you.
Hey, good stuff, Dylan. We appreciate the call, man. Close us out, Big Dog Zach.
4092. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Hey, War Eagle, it's Jedi from Mobile.
That's a good one to close it out with, right?
Yeah. Jedi 88.
All right, so I got a little fun hypothetical for you guys. I don't want to negate any of the relationships that Auburn's built with any recruits. So, if you feel good about a guy, you don't have to necessarily pick them. But let's say we could get some guys in the boat today to get this class rolling again. Which would you choose? Would you choose any 2 4-stars on the board, 1 5-star on the board, or go ahead and get a flip in the boat?
Ooh. Hold on. Could those 2 4-stars be a flip?
Good.
I mean, because you want to create some freaking momentum right now.
I'm assuming what he meant by flip was like a flip from Bama.
Yeah.
And then the 4-stars could be flips from anywhere.
Yeah, I was counting like a Perry Thompson or a DeMarcus Riddick as a flip.
Okay.
So my 2 4-stars would have been I would have taken DeMarcus Riddick and Perry Thompson over a single Cam Coleman.
Yeah, right.
But Perry's a 5, right?
Is he?
Yeah,
well, he's a 4 right now, just because On 3 has not gone all the way to the 32 mark on 5-stars yet.
Okay, he's a future 5-star.
But where he's ranked, he will be a 5-star if he stays where he's at. But I kind of consider that flip and the DeMarcus Riddick flip; those are in their own category, even though they are 4-stars. Right? Like those are monumental flips.
So 2 4-stars.
What about?
So you could be 2 4-stars that aren't committed anywhere, a flip, or a 5-star.
What about Daniel Calhoun and Casey Poe?
That's who I was going to pick. I think we have Daniel Calhoun in there.
I was going to have Jalen. Well, I was going to go Casey Poe and Jalen Crawford. Those were the 2 I was going with to get the momentum started. Because I feel good about getting Cam Coleman in the end. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't want to burn. I don't want to use.
Yeah, I don't want to burn that one, and I don't want to just place my momentum on one DeMarcus Riddick, even though he's a badass. Let's not get that twisted.
How about a Casey Poe and a Daniel Hill?
See, Casey Poe would send a message because
Casey Poe is he's one of my 2 4-stars.
I would go with the 2 4-stars in his question.
Yeah.
Yep.
2 is better than 1 to me.
I agree. 2 is big.
I would go Jamonte Waller, Daniel Calhoun if I got to pick 2 4-stars. And I just have to pick any of them. Those would be my 2.
Jamonte Waller would be, breaking into that state of Mississippi.
Yes. Jamonte Waller, Casey Poe, those are signature shots, dude. Yes. That 100% to me. Now look, I can't say Daniel Calhoun because I just don't feel great on that recruitment. I'm going to be honest with you.
He's coming in next weekend.
He is. Yeah, I know he is, man.
So if you don't feel great about him, this would be a great time to get him on your team.
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
But in the vein of realism, I feel like Casey Poe's a bigger win.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it just is. It just is because of who's recruiting him. I mean, Daniel Calhoun's got the same, but it just seems like I think it has something to do with Casey Poe's social media presence, and that he makes Georgia, he makes Alabama, he makes Clemson seem like his top schools. Like he really makes it seem like he's going to each one of those schools.
Yeah.
and Auburn for that matter.
Yeah.
You don't know where he's leaning.
Right.
No, you don't. And I mean, isn't Texas Tech on his list too?
Texas Tech.
He's got like 8 or 10.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
You know, just be a monster win.
Any of the guys that we've mentioned so far, Daniel Hill, Casey
Daniel
Poe, Jamonte Waller, all those
Jalen
guys.
Crawford.
Jalen Crawford. You take two of those
Yeah.
guys, and then you pull Cam Coleman there at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And I
But
think,
Jedi's question was kind of getting momentum going right now.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's 2 4-stars. I think you
Who's
go
better than one?
bam, and
Who's
you
better than one?
time those, you know what I mean, the right way to get this, you know what I mean, some social media presence there for Auburn, some positive buzz, some juice, as Keith would call it.
Yeah. Yep. That's good stuff, Jedi. We had some really good hypotheticals tonight.
Yeah, we did.
Who was it? Was it Emos and Jedi?
Emos.
Yeah.
Fantastic hypotheticals.
Goodbye.
Well, goodbye to you too. Who said that?
That was the call line. Like when you.
Oh,
close
was it?
it down, that was like the automated message when you close it down.
Oh, wow.
I'm used to girls telling me goodbye. Damn, I had something important to say. I think it was when I break a commitment, and that woman told me goodbye.
Man, it's tough. Oh well. Oh well.
Damn, what was I going to say? We were talking about John of the hypotheticals. Do we have any? Maybe I'll come back to it. Do we have any lightning round questions?
Yeah,
Zach?
we got about 10.
Okay, we'll hit them up real quick, man. We had some fantastic calls tonight. Let's see what old John Addison's up to tonight. If we land at Bryce Kane, could that possibly help us with Phylon for basketball? This is a fantastic question. If y'all don't mind, I'd like to take this because I've learned some things about Phylon in the last 48 hours. Phylon came to Auburn's basketball camp. What's today? Sunday. I think he was here Thursday or whatnot. Listen, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Auburn has a commitment from Tahad Pettiford in the 2024 class. They will take a commitment from Flory Badunga if they can get him. Other than that, they might be done in the high school ranks. I'm telling you, and I just had this conversation 2 days ago. If LeBaron Phylon wants to talk to Auburn, they'll listen to him. If he wants to sign with Auburn, they might take him. They're not going out of their way for these guys. I'm telling you, they do not want these high school kids. And here's another thing. These super seniors are killing it. Are killing it. The COVID seniors.
Yeah.
And listen, every year there's a different group, so it's not just one group. But until 2025 comes and goes, and there are no longer these fifth-year seniors playing in their 5th years, these high school kids are going to get pushed out a lot. And I don't think Auburn and Bruce Pearl will mess with many high school kids for a couple of years, and this is going to be that year. They lost LeBaron Phylon, they lost Peyton Marshall. I don't think they're going to go crazy trying to get those guys back. They're going to keep Tahad Pettiford, and they're going to sign Flory Badunga if they can, and they'll listen to Phylon, but they're not going to go crazy for him.
Maybe if like Ace Bailey came back on the market, maybe they make a move there. But other than that, I'm with you, Jay Lee.
Good stuff, though. That's a good question that needed to be addressed. Daniel Killian, men, can any of you share what happened to make Cam? Lord have mercy.
Oh, dude, I knew this was coming.
Daniel, this is good stuff, Daniel. I should have touched on this earlier. What happened to make Cam Coleman drop percentages on the hot board and ultimately where he goes prediction for today? Okay, so Cam Coleman, for all you guys listening at Auburn Live on 3, I do a hot boards. I give a list of all the guys at each position and what I think Auburn's chances are of landing them against the field. So Auburn's chances at 50% against the field, they got a 50-50 shot at getting him. 60%. So what? So anyways, I had Cam Coleman at 60%. I think on Friday. Was that right?
Yes.
And then on Friday, over the next 24 hours, I talked to a lot of people that know that are close to that recruitment. And I just felt like after talking to these people that maybe I was a little bit too confident.
Yeah.
And because 60% for me is like Auburn's leading. Auburn's a clear leader here. Yeah. And after talking to these people, I thought, you know what? I'm not. I still think he ends up with Auburn, but I'm not 60%. So let me just bring that down to 55. So he's still leading. Auburn is still leading. I give Auburn a slight edge is what I'm doing. I give Auburn a slight edge with Cam Coleman. And I think that accurately reflects better than my 60%. Well, the freaking corner lost it. I mean, lost it. Oh, my God. What is going on? What is going on? 55? Jeffrey Lee, why? What happened, Jeffrey Lee? Can we overcome this? Oh, my God. And I was like, dude, I still think he's going to Auburn. I got him in Auburn a slight edge. I don't care what happened. It's 60 to 55, man. What happened? What happened? Elizabeth, man. I broke my damn thing. Yeah, it was crazy. I listen. I should have known better. Listen, it was not worth it. Somebody asked, like, was it worth it, Jeffrey? I'm like, hell no, it wasn't. Worth it. I should have just left it at 60.
Oh man,
Here I am trying to. I had to go mute on that rant, man. I was giggling like a little girl over here, dude.
Yeah, I busted my yeah. So, anyways, Daniel. So I still think he's Auburn, just not as confident to make him at 60. I think they've got a slight edge, and I'll probably have him that way until he goes elsewhere. Yeah, right. So I bumped up Perry Thompson from 40 to 45. So Alabama with a slight edge, he's committed there. Alabama, still think Alabama until he changes that. But nobody cared about that. Oh man! Update on KJ Bolden. Either one of you two. I'm gonna try to fix my headphones.
If he comes out of this weekend not committed to Georgia, I'm gonna be shocked.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, besides Auburn, probably Clemson, Ohio State.
Yeah.
There's a pretty good connection with Ohio State. I think the three between Auburn, Clemson, Ohio State would go, oh, we got a chance if he comes out of this weekend not committed. But there's a good chance he comes out of this weekend committed to Georgia.
Yeah, I agree, Cole. If he comes out of this weekend not committed and or not, hey, I've got an announcement set on set date, I think those other three schools say, oh, wow. You know what I mean? Like, so you're telling me there's a chance. That's
Yes.
So, but yeah, my expectation going in this weekend, it was going to be hard for him not to come out. I feel like Georgia was going to throw everything at him this weekend.
Which, by the way, if you like that kind of intel, Texas A&M was gung ho that Cohen Eccles was going to be in their class after that official visit. And here he is at Auburn this weekend. And this guy doesn't get talked about enough, okay, because Auburn really likes him. So does Texas A&M. So does LSU. There's a lot of big-time schools, not to switch it off of KJ, but I'm just saying, when a guy that is leaning so heavy one way comes out of an official visit not committed, it raises some eyebrows.
Absolutely it does. And to your point on Cohen Eccles, he's a guy that can play three different positions. I firmly believe that he can play center, guard, or tackle.
He's the real deal.
That's what they told him too.
I can tell you that after seeing him and talking to him today and seeing his film. He's the real deal.
Somebody had asked about like where are they recruiting him, and I was like, man,
anywhere.
And that's what they told him. Wherever you're needed the most, the earliest is where you're going to play.
He could play all three. He's that kind of talented.
Yeah.
Emos wants to know who was Walker working on the most this weekend. First he was working on Cohen Eccles.
Cohen Eccles and Daniel Hill.
Well, that's some good intel.
DeMarcus Riddick as well.
Oh, well. I mean, look, he's working. So we talked to Walker after the camp, a camp in which I thought he performed pretty well. A couple of accuracy issues here and there, but boy, he throws a good ball. But he talked to us. He goes, well, we're going, I'm going to stay. We're going to work on these OVs. He goes, I want Daniel Hill. We're going to get him to narrow his 8 down to 1. And then I want Cohen Eccles. And he kind of named those two guys. Those are the two offensive guys. Obviously, he worked on everybody. But if you want specifics, I would say those are the two he was all about.
I hear you. He came in Saturday morning. I talked to him before he left. And that the previous night he had worked on Daniel Hill and DeMarcus Riddick. DeMarcus came in about a little bit after him. Walker, fantastic dude. Really like him. Clayton wants to know, how many commits do you see Auburn having at the start of the season? Auburn has 5 right now. I could see them doubling that.
I was going to go 12. I think 12 is about where when toe meets leather, that's where Auburn's going to be.
Okay.
I was thinking 10 to 12.
There you go.
Okay.
I'm right there with you, 10 to 12. Well, Steven wants to know, how the hell does Auburn lose an O-line recruit from Georgia to Pitt?
The other you knew was coming.
And do you think O-line recruiting has been disappointing? I don't think it's been disappointing. And Caleb Holmes is who he's talking about. Caleb
This
Holmes.
is the other one, Jeffrey. Oh my God.
Oh my God, yes.
This is the other one because, oh my gosh, that thread too, man. Wild. And look, I get it. We didn't talk about Pitt beforehand because I didn't know for sure if he was going to go to Pitt yet, because even when I heard that, I was skeptical because this is a 4-star guy from Georgia. That doesn't happen a lot, right?
No.
That's just not normal. But here we are. He is already committed to Pitt. On the weekend, he was supposed to be at Auburn. I think Auburn's going to be okay from that one, personally. I just think they are. I'll leave it at that.
I would say that the feedback I got is they got a lot of guys that have very similar grades. Okay.
Yeah.
And if there's a guy that feels comfortable elsewhere, they didn't have a lot of heartburn about it. It's not that he's not a good player. He is. Okay. This kid's a good player, but they're recruiting a lot of guys that are very similar and that are also good players. So I feel like, you know what I mean, if he feels like there's a better fit elsewhere, Auburn's got other guys that they think fit too. So it's not a situation anybody needs to melt down about. That's for sure.
Which I think everybody came around.
Yes.
So we're all good.
Worth mentioning, though, Stephen. Good stuff. Kimbo. Oh, Kimbo's got his own little picture over here. You see that? He's fancy, big dog. If Hugh Freeze was hired a year earlier, would James Smith and Quay Russaw end up in this class? That's another hypothetical, fantastic question.
No.
I tend to believe
no. You know why? Because it would have been Hugh's first class. He still would have been behind. And listen, Alabama is not letting 2 5-stars in the state go to Auburn. Not happening.
No. Now, let's look back, because I think there's some guys in the state of Alabama who would have been in that class.
Oh, okay. I like it. But by the way, I do want to throw this in there. I think we've talked about the recruiting discrepancies. I think they did a pretty good job with these guys. And I do think they had a small chance with them.
Was it Zach and
yeah, Zach was a big deal.
And Rock?
Rock Bellantoni.
So hold on, let's see. So Zach would have still been here.
Yeah.
And then Ron Roberts recruiting Quay, Jeremy Garrett would have probably taken over. I don't think so, Kimbo.
So I have the top 10 recruits in the state of Alabama pulled up, as I know Jay had wanted to look at this. So the number 1 player in the state last year, according to On 3 Industry, was Peter Woods out of Thompson. Went to Clemson.
Yeah, he was going to Clemson regardless.
Then you had James Smith at 2. You had Pierre out of Eufaula, who went to Bama.
Yanzi.
Yeah.
I think he probably would have ended up there anyway, just because of who the lead recruiter was. And his connection to Eufaula being a prior head coach there.
That's Freddie Roach.
He's now the defensive Charles, former Auburn player. Charles Kelly.
Oh, shit.
He was the lead recruiter there, and Charles used to be a head coach at Eufaula.
That's right.
Highly connected in that area.
Okay.
But I think Hugh would have mixed it up there on that one. I think we would have gotten in on that one.
Yeah, definitely.
So then you had Quay at number 4. AJ Harris at 5 out of Phoenix City, who went to Georgia.
Georgia on that one.
Yeah.
Then you had Kelby Collins from Gardendale that went to Florida.
Yes.
I think we would have been in the mix on that.
Yes. You know why? Because I talked to him at the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game, and he was considering an official visit to Auburn. It never happened. Florida ended up getting him, and I don't think that was his top choice, if we're being honest.
No.
So, yeah, you would have had a shot there.
Then you had Jaleel Hurley, who went to Bama out of Florence.
That was another one, Jeffrey.
There's a book you can write on that one. That's for sure.
God, I forgot all about that kid.
Yeah,
my bad. I'm bringing up the PTSD
thanks,
memories
asshole.
on that one. To Marion Parker was 8, who went to Clemson out of Phoenix City.
Yeah.
I think that kid would have been in the class, and I think he would have gotten the love that he absolutely would.
I think Kelby Collins and TJ Parker both.
Yeah, and you think about how big that would have been.
Yeah, and I always like Auburn's chances with people in Eufaula Although I'm trying to think, there was gosh, who was the defensive end who should have came to Auburn? He went to Alabama.
Yes. What was that kid's name?
It was right after Jarrell Jernigan.
Yes.
Jarrell Jernigan, who went to Troy and became an All-American at Troy, should have came to Auburn. I think he was committed to Auburn at one time.
Well, who was the middle linebacker coach? Willis wanted that
James.
kid.
Yeah.
James wanted that kid bad, and Greg Carr said he couldn't play.
God bless America. What was the damn defensive end from Eufaula who went to Alabama?
Yeah, played in the NFL for a while.
Yes, he was really, really good.
Give me a year here. I might can help.
2016.
Oh, okay.
Well, when was Jarrell Jernigan at Eufaula?
Courtney Upshaw.
Courtney Upshaw.
Yes, that's him.
I just needed a year.
Was that close to the year?
I think so.
Yeah, that's him.
Courtney Upshaw should have came to Auburn. No, obviously not, because he went to Alabama, was a stud, and went on to the NFL. But he was an Auburn dude in my book. Like,
The
last two is Keldrick Falk, which came to Auburn anyway, and then Christopher Venenza, quarterback who went
Chris Zena.
out of Birmingham. I think the 11 through 15 might have been a little bit because you had Formby, the offensive tackle, who went to Bama. Of course, you had Tony Mitchell, Jeremiah Cobb at running back who came to Auburn, Hunter Osborne, defensive lineman out of Hewitt Trustville was there, and then Dakari Nelson from Selma who went to Penn State.
Yeah. Interesting. I tell you what,
Carmelo English was 16.
Chris Vizina could have been the Walker White that year. If
could have. He very well could have.
You know what? If Hugh Freeze is here, is Chris Vizina coming to Auburn?
Yeah, probably, yeah. I will. I mean, it's 50-50 at least.
Yeah. Could Hugh have stuffed Dabo in a locker on that one? Maybe. You know what I mean?
Drink.
Coach Brad. Do y'all think Freeze would have let good stuff though? I love that question. It's good stuff. Do y'all think Freeze would have let Judkins go to Ole Miss? No.
I don't think Carnell wanted to let him go to Ole Miss.
He didn't.
I'm still mad that we lost out on him. I got to watch that team play against, I want to say McGill. They opened up the season and they put like 60 something on McGill week one, his senior year. And I mean, they just blitzed them. And I was like, yeah, they're different.
Now, let's let Jay Lee correct me here, but my intel was Carnell wanted to get Judkins and he wanted to get DeMar and he wanted to close it down in the summer. That was where he was
be done with it.
Yeah, 100%.
He wanted to be done with it.
Yeah,
I agree.
I don't think Judkins is at Ole Miss if Freeze is at Auburn.
I don't believe so either. I don't think he's at Auburn. I mean, I don't think he's at Ole Miss if Harsin just believes in the eval that Carnell put on. But anyway, that's another day.
That was the last question. So
okay,
good,
man. What fantastic question! Fantastic questions all night long. LG got us started, man.
Yep.
Let's see here. LG got us started. Oh, Emos has some fantastic stuff. Johnny Knox 07, big dog coming in hot.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Knox 07. Big boy Foosball has some really good stuff. Oh, Hunter. Boy, I tell you what, I can't remember how long ago doing a show on signing day. It had to be when I was with the Rivals. Like we're talking years ago. Hunter's an OG if that's the case. Ranger 361, that's my dude. Hogbone, Mike from Birmingham, Dylan from Oxford, Jedi 88. Fantastic questions tonight, folks. Again, if you're not signed up for Auburn Live on 3, it's practically free at this point. $1 for the next 3 months. Get signed up. Now it is right, Cole.
Yeah, $1 for 3 months.
$1 for 3 months, 4 quarters, dude. You can find the change in your car seat. I don't know.
That'll last through June, I believe.
It'll get you through Big Cat Weekend.
I mean, the deal ends at the end of June, I believe.
Oh, so you can sign up through June.
Yes.
Okay, that'll get you to the fall.
That's right.
The little Debbie in your college dorm is more expensive than that, fellas. Come on.
You can't even buy a candy bar for $1 anymore, can you?
No.
Gee, man, it's $1.50.
Remember when them Snicker bars were like 50 cents at the concession stand?
Yes.
Yeah. I actually do remember that.
Yeah, 50 cents for a Snicker bar.
Yeah, the J. Jacobs funnel cake.
Do you remember when they would actually take cash at a concession stand?
Oh, they don't anymore?
I was at one the other day, and they only took cards or Venmo.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's end it up there, folks. Man, fantastic show. We knew it was going to be. I had a good feeling about tonight, and it came to fruition. We appreciate everybody listening. We appreciate everybody watching. We're going to be back Wednesday or Thursday this week. We'll talk more in depth on recruiting, and hope to see everybody there at Auburn Live on 3. Get signed up. Please do it. Again, if you're in Auburn, Opelika, Lee County, looking to sell your house, now is the perfect opportunity. I'm telling you, give Jessica Andrus a call, 334-704-4442. Tell her we sent you. Thanks again, everybody. We appreciate everybody. We really do. For J Head, for Zach in the back, for Cole, I'm Jeffrey Lee, man. Y'all stay out of that left lane. See ya.